The terms Internet of Things or IoT and Matter are often confused, and understandably so given their similarity. But how do they differ? I'm James Bruce, you're watching MatterAlpha.com, home of all things matter. Let's do this. So the Internet of Things is a generic, overarching term referring to a network of connected physical objects that are equipped with sensors and services. So anything from factory assembly machines to self-driving GPS-led tractors to shelf-stacking robots and motion-sensing mattresses that jiggle a patient if they lie still for too long. It's not one specific device type, but anything connected to a network for the purposes of sharing data for analysis and automation. You could argue that this includes things like a PC or a smartphone, but generally it refers to things beyond those you'd expect to already be web connected. Obviously your phone is. And usually an IoT device doesn't require a human to interact with it and click a button to upload data. Rather, it broadcasts its sensor data regardless. On the other hand, Matter is a strictly defined, unified, open source connectivity standard for specific IoT device types from different manufacturers so that they can all communicate together in the context of a smart home. It was developed by the Connectivity Standards Alliance, previously known as the Zigbee Alliance. You could think of it as a subset of all the IoT device types, so it welcomes some devices and dictates how they should communicate and what minimum feature set they should offer. With each new Matter standard release, we're up to 1.3 at the time of this video, the number of device types that Matter specifies standards for will grow, and usually the next version of your smartphone or Home Hub operating system will then add support for those new device types. The latest additions to the Matter standard, for instance, are energy reporting plugs and sensors, water management devices, leak sensors, that sort of thing, EV chargers, even ovens, and then Matter casting media players. But, and here's the big but, most of those are as yet unsupported by the major smart home ecosystems, which tend to lag behind by a year or so. Just because the Matter standard says this is how ovens will communicate over Matter doesn't mean your smartphone with Matter support will talk to your oven yet. For instance, I reviewed an air purifier from iDot a few months ago, and while Google Home lets you control fan speed, despite being able to add it to Apple HomeKit, I can't actually do anything with it yet. Apple hasn't implemented support for any of the controls, even though they're there and they're available on the network. So Matter aims for interoperability. It doesn't matter whether you're a Google, Amazon or Apple Home, a Matter device should work with any of them or with all of them in the same home. It's designed to simplify setup with a single QR code or passcode needed to pair devices. Matter also has robust security measures to protect your privacy, and it uses an open source blockchain to verify device certification. Who knew a real-world use of blockchains actually existed? When a Matter device joins your network, it shares a secret password so your home controller knows it isn't accidentally adding a malicious piece of hardware that will steal your data. By contrast, the Internet of Things doesn't specify, well, anything. Any standard communications protocols, any set of features that a device has to offer. It's not made by any one company or group. It doesn't specify security measures, nor is there any way to verify that an IoT device is what it says it is. It's really just a buzzword that means things that are connected to a network. It isn't a standard of anything. Now that doesn't mean IoT devices are useless. Obviously, they're used throughout healthcare, agriculture, industrial automation. They're a critical part of our modern supply chain. If the internet went down tomorrow and all those little Internet of Things went offline, the supermarket shelves would soon be empty. The system wouldn't know how much to order. The supplier wouldn't know where to send it. And the trucks wouldn't know how long it could be stored before the produce was spoiled, or whether the temperature in the container they were carrying was correct. There's so much data used in our modern world, and it's all generated by Internet of Things devices that you wouldn't think of as being connected. So look, Matter might not be as mission critical as some IoT sensors are, but it's still nice to have a smart home that's frustration-free across ecosystems and responsive, with accurate sensor data that's essential for home automation. So I hope this video helped to explain the differences between Matter and IoT. Hit me up in the comments if you have any feedback or suggestions. Otherwise, as a new channel, we'd really appreciate a like and consider subscribing if this was helpful. Until next time, you've been watching matteralpha.com.